up, everybody? Headed to Fortville, Indiana for a pole vault track meet. Had a thought that I wanted to put on camera for you guys. So we're in August now. Most people done competing except for people vaulting at this meet, and obviously like the pros and stuff. But my question to you guys is, how are you structuring your training this off season? Are you A, speed first, fitness later, or B, fitness first and speed later? I think the question's really intriguing depending on how you look at periodization, program design, how you understand skill acquisition, and just like the layout of the athlete that you're working with. And I personally don't think there's a wrong way, but there's certainly some things that should be taken into consideration. The first thing we should take into consideration is, what is my end goal? What is my end goal? Am I trying to peak at state? Am I trying to peak at under 20 champs? Am I trying to peak at US champs? Like, what is your Super Bowl? That's where you should start your planning. Okay, today is August 9th, 2025, and the state track meet, or whatever state you're in, is late May, early June. Let's just say it's late May, just for argument's sake. So between now, track next year. Between now and May is 9 months. You got 9 months to get your program together and to do what you need to do. Now, let's say this is a track only athlete as well. Like, obviously, like, a lot of the programming is easier if they're not doing track or training for track because they're doing basketball or soccer or football, whatever the case is, right? I want to give you guys some considerations when you're taking programming into your own hands or into consideration here. So you got 9 months, hypothetically. You got a track only kid for 9 months, and you want them to be their best on the day at state. It's not impossible to peak somebody at the right time. It is very difficult to pinpoint on a specific day, but if you give yourself a range of 3 to 6 weeks, you don't have to stress about getting it perfect. I'm going to use a couple different examples. So let's take a short sprint, 100, 200, maybe they jump as well. So the base of the question was speed first, fitness first. I'm always going to think about, if I don't work speed first, will I regret that decision? If I do not put speed first, will I regret that decision? Are there things that I need to iron out? Are there things that I need to work on that if I don't maximize this 9-month period, because you have all 9 months, if I don't maximize all 9 months with it, will I regret this decision? That's the first place I'm looking. So if you're a sprinter, jumper, combo, one or the other, even though you could throw hurdles into this consideration, I just want to leave the 400 out of it. If speed is an issue, they can't get to the first hurdle first, they die out late in races, they can't hold their top speed, they're not consistent round to round, event to event, they just have speed capacity issues, I am absolutely starting with speed first. I would ask you guys to consider starting with speed first. Let me rephrase that, because it's not about me. I want to put this in your guys' court, right? So you have an athlete that has speed issues. From day one, it should be a focus. That does not mean spiked up. That does not mean, man, I'm in the cornfields of Indiana right now. Shout out to the cornfield. Shout out to Fortville, Indiana, man. This is a beautiful part of the state. Day one, prioritization of speed does not mean spikes and plyos and intensity. It doesn't have to be intense. However, speed starts with the acceleration. And I need to put in this athlete's mind, you're teaching what their baseline values are from day one. This is what I'm willing to accept from you. At the very worst, I need you to know speed has to be a priority. Day one can build to day 2, can build to day 10, can build to day 200, to build to the state meet. And all the athlete will know or remember, they're not typically going to remember the things that you said to them on October 1st, but they'll know by pattern of what is executed. They'll know by pattern of what's been emphasized. On Monday, I've done this. On Friday, I've done this. Coach has been cueing us to do this. If it's not speed from day one and they have speed deficiency issues, you run the risk of not optimizing your goal at the end. From day one, considerations would be, I need you to squat these 5 reps. I don't know. We got 3 sets of 5 on back squat. And I got a stopwatch here. I want you to complete all 5 reps in under 8 seconds. If you're talking to a lady, hey, you got 5 reps. I need it under 8 seconds because your PR right now is over 8 seconds. To me, that's speed training. To me, that's putting the athlete into the mindset of what you want from day one. I didn't say, let's get in blocks. I need you to move fast. I need you to produce force. I need you to be powerful. None of that can happen if we're not training towards it. Second consideration for putting speed first is your training environment. If you only have here in Indiana, if you don't have access to indoor facilities, as soon as the temperature drops, you're kind of like piecing it together for about 2.5 months. From December to February, mid to late February, you're really piecing it together. I think November you can get away with it. Even into December, sometimes early to mid-December isn't too bad to be outside. But, practice starts at 4 p.m. The sun goes down at like 5:30. It gets cold, it gets dark really quick. So if you have 6 weeks, you start training in October or late September, you have 4 to 6 weeks where the temperature's pretty good. You have 4 to 6 weeks where you can train, get on the track, you get spikes on, put them and do some fast stuff, get some accelerations going, get some block starts going, whatever the case is. At least you know you're not hampered by the weather or the lack of facilities you may have. And everyone's dealing with something. A lot of people use hallways and sidewalks and that kind of thing, but why not use it? Why not use the time when you have it? Because you're forced to be inside anyway. Give them a good base of speed work, then you can kind of piece together speed work in between in those colder months, but you're not starting completely new. A consideration for going speed first, fitness second, that would be a negative potentially, is if you're running fast for a long time, if you're not identifying what technical things need to be fixed or just the high level impact of sprint training, you could lead to injury or just general fatigue. The longer you sprint and the more intensity you have behind your training is going to potentially lead to maybe overuse, the patella tendonitis, the hamstring tendonitis, the Achilles, the calf. Just depends on, again, how intense you're going, but certainly a consideration. Now, considerations for going fitness first. Let me even start with that point I just made. If you know you're getting abrupted by weather, facility issues, that kind of thing, if you're gonna get hampered by that, you can make October to January a lot of, conditioning, and it's lifting, and it's like just getting fit and getting that armor kind of built on the kids' bodies, so they can hit January and later, depending on when you guys start competing, they can hit that time of the year knowing like they're very robust, they're very prepared, they're very they're very fit. The tendons are strong, the energy systems are strong, and that doesn't mean you're not doing anything speed related. I'm sure it could be multi jumps, it could be plyos, whatever. But if you're saying like not putting a big emphasis on like sprinting, then I want to get us to have a really strong base of 150s, 250s, hills, tempo work, long work, whatever the case is. Okay, that works too. One thing to caution is when you do start competing on the other side of the year, just know that like those speedy elements and speedy attributes that the kids would have had they been working speed may not be there for 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, if that. They're almost like racing themselves into shape. Now you're at this meet now. Other considerations going fitness first. If the athlete doesn't stay engaged on training as well, if you want to keep them engaged, you keep the fun stuff for the most important time of the year, which would be March to the end. That makes sense as well. Get on the boring stuff while it's still kind of dreary out and holiday season and that kind of thing, and then go from there. But my vote will always be going speed first, then fitness. For the 400, it's really dependent. 400 is a mix of, you need 200 ability, you need 100 meter sprint speed to a degree. And obviously you're gonna need some fitness as well, like a 4 hurdler. Not quite an 800 person, but I would certainly, you have to kind of have a mixed approach with a 400 athlete, knowing that they have so many attributes that they need to develop, but prioritize, as you're mixing them, prioritize the one that they're weakest at first. And if it's a 400 runner that, if it's a boy that's not broken 50 yet, they need to sprint. They need to get faster. Likely don't have a PR under 22 seconds. And if they do have a PR under 22 seconds, and you want to improve their obviously it's more on the fitness side of things. So I hope this helps you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Got my hair.